Senator Murray, thank you for speaking to SLOG. You were just hearing from the 5 small business owners in Seattle about the trouble that they're having getting credit to run their businesses. You've introduced legislation in the Senate that would redirect TARP money to to community banks that would presumably then be able to lend to small businesses. Can you explain a bit more how this bill would work and exactly how it would help these businesses get their hands on money?
I am really concerned that much of our energy and focus in the nation's capital, some for very good reason, has been on Wall Street and major banks, getting them back and healthy and strong again. But where we have not focused enough attention is our small community banks, and most of our small businesses really survive because of their line of credit through their small community bank. These small community banks are holding a lot of real estate, commercial and residential, that is really in trouble on their banks, and as a result of that, on their books, and as a result of that, they're not able to loan. So small businesses that have been paying their line of credit, doing really well, are all of a sudden finding their line of credit or their money called back into the bank, and they're collapsing. So if we want to get people working again, and we all know small business is the engine of our economy, we've got to take these assets off these community banks, these troubled assets, so they can lend again and get our small businesses growing.
And you've been asking Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner to send $30 billion of the TARP money to community banks. Is he listening to you?
Well, I've been talking to Secretary Geithner for a couple of months about this now, and I told him that we should be using $30 billion of the TARP money for community banks instead of for big banks and Wall Street, because that's what will really help our economy grow again. I think he agrees with me, but he is not convinced that the administration can do it by regulation, which I would love to see them do. So as a result of that, I've introduced legislation. If it's going to take change in the law, then that's what I'm going to work on doing.
Now, we saw in the Massachusetts Senate race a lot of economic anxieties fueling frustration with Congress and leading to vulnerability, a lot of people say, for Democrats. You have a race coming up this fall. You've got an interesting collection of challengers, I think massage therapists, a chiropractor, but you've also got State Senator Don Benton, who has hired the same consulting firm that was used by Scott Brown in the Massachusetts Senate race. Are you worried about the challenge from State Senator Benton, and how are you feeling about your reelection chances?
Here's what I do every day. I get up and I say, what am I doing to make sure that my state is getting strong again, and focusing on making sure that I'm doing everything I can to get my economy moving again. Getting this state healthy and well and people back to work and feeling confident again is critically important, whether I'm up for election or not. So that doesn't impact me. What I do, what I love, what I've always wanted to do is make sure that people in my state feel confident. That's what I'm doing.
But it's important to the Democratic agenda and to President Obama's agenda to have as many Senate seats remain in Democratic hands as possible. We saw the news about Evan Bayh today, and that's leading to a little more anxiety about how many seats Democrats can control. Can Democrats count on keeping your seat?
I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability, as I always have, to be a voice for the people of Washington State, fight really hard for what I believe in. That's what I'm going to do today, tomorrow, a year from now, however long I have this job, regardless of politics.
Okay. Thank you, Senator Murray.
You bet.